Now you're probably wondering, because you clicked on this video, why the title says why North Florida is the best part in Florida, right? So in today's video, I'm going to explain from a North Floridian's perspective why North Florida is the best part of Florida. Good afternoon. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And like in the intro and as the title states, coming from a I would say North Floridian, specifically Northeastern. I'm from Saint Augustine, so I just want to tell you guys why I think Northeast Florida, or I guess North Florida in general, is probably the best part about Florida. Now you're wondering, Justin, what do you consider North Florida? Well, that's a good question. North Florida, in my opinion, is all of Florida. So from the Panhandle, the Panhandle is Northwest Florida technically, is from the Panhandle over to Jacksonville down to, I want to say, about Ocala, Gainesville area, like at that area at most, if not just a little bit north around like Lake George. Take where Lake George is, slice it across, and I would consider that technically North Florida in my opinion. Now, why do I think North Florida is the best? Well, one, we technically have seasons. Now, you always hear me clamoring about why it's cold, it's always cold out, or it's cold, or now it's starting to get warm, but we technically have seasons. Now, Florida has technically two seasons, summer and pre-summer. Now, in North Florida, and I'll just speak for here in Northeast Florida, it gets cold. Like in previous videos, I talked about how it's been like 25 degrees or 29 degrees, whatever. It's been below freezing. We've had a bunch of freezes this year, and it gets cold. It gets cold up here, but it also gets hot. So we have that little thaw period where we have spring, which technically today is the first day of spring, Friday the 20th, but we have a little warm up period a little bit before it turns like 85, 90. But you know, in general, the rule of thumb is that Florida has two seasons, but here in Northeast Florida, we have a little bit of a spring, little bit of a spring, and a little bit of a fall. Now, I'm not saying that is true for all places in Florida. South Florida is also very hot. It gets very hot very quick, and it stays hot forever, pretty much. Now, they get cold, but their cold's like 50. Our cold up here is can be as low as like 25 or 29, like in previous videos in January. But overall, we do have seasons, but they're not the seasons that you expected, like in the north, like where the Northerners and the Yankees are from, where they have like a spring, they have a summer, they have a fall, and they have a winter. Up here, we just have on an oven, you just turn from like full broil down to like a 5 to a 4. You're still warm, it's still burning your hand, but the oven's not all the way off, right? Now this is 100% biased, but in my opinion, why North Florida is the best, in my opinion, is Saint Augustine. Saint Augustine is a gorgeous city. You have the Night of the Lights in the winter, but overall, when the temperature's right now, when it's 72 degrees out, you sitting outside on the intercoastal at like those beach bars or beach restaurants, like those coastal restaurants, amazing. Walking downtown Saint Augustine is gorgeous. Saint Augustine is a gorgeous city. It is such a nice city. It's the oldest city in the nation, but overall, just walking it is amazing. You cannot help but be like, oh, this is such a nice city. This is awesome. Why can't every other city be like this? But it's not like a city where you think of like Jacksonville or Miami or Tampa or like big skyscrapers. No, it's like buildings where I'm around, like they're 1-story, 2-story tall, and that's pretty much it. But St. Augustine is a gorgeous city. It's a gorgeous town, and I highly recommend, if you're coming down here to visit St. Augustine. I cannot stress that enough. It's such a gorgeous town, an awesome town with good places to eat, good places to shop, and overall great city. I just call it a city, but it's a town. Great town to be in. All right, the next one up. Now, this is kind of like a general rule of thumb, but North Florida is technically the only bastion in Florida that's considered the South. Now, in Northeast Florida, we're considered Southern Georgia. Now, in Northwest Florida, it's probably like Southern Alabama. But like, the further south you go, I've always preached, the further south you go, the more Northeastern it becomes. The more Yankee, the more Northerner, New Yorker, New Jersey, all that stuff. All those people, Boston, the further south you go, you hit that 95 I-4 corridor, and you take I-4 to go towards Orlando. Pretty much that's the start of like Yankee Town and Yankeeville, where everyone from the Northeast moved down here during COVID, and they went all the way down south, all the way. But overall, they went to Orlando because they love Disney, or that's what they think about it. But there's a lot of Northerners and stuff the further south. We have them here, don't get me wrong, we do, but not to the extent that, like, especially like Fort Lauderdale and like that area has. There's a lot of people, Northeasterners down there. I think Boca Raton has a bunch of them too. But at least up here, you don't have that. It's a bunch of good old boys that got trucks, beat up trucks, old farm trucks. Like, what can you think of? Like, what do you think of the South? It's in here in Florida. You got farms, you got cattle ranches, you got 12-foot John boats. Like, you got everything like that. You got old pickups and like. What do you think of the South? Orange grove. We don't have orange groves, but we have groves out here, which, like, oranges. I think we got oranges out here. No, maybe not. I don't know. But I do see, like, we have kind of like groves and stuff out here. Not what you kind of expect of like an orange grove, like down south, but we do have like some kind of like patches, weird little patches in the west going towards like Live Oak. I've seen them out there. I don't know what they are, so don't quote me on it. But this is like the South. What do you think of the South? That's North Florida. It's more southern, in my opinion, the further you go towards Pensacola. But here in Jacksonville, you got towns like Yulee, Live Oak, Callahan, Lake City. I'm trying to think of towns off the top of my head. Palatka, things like that. You got small towns. Palaka's not really a small town, but you got towns like that where they're good, like good times to be around, and like small town feeling that you can't help but feel like you're in the South. The last one up, and I'll make it quick, is kind of like the boating culture, or like the culture in general of just being down here in the South. Like, everyone's outside, everyone's on their boat, everyone's fishing, they're wade fishing, they're at the beach, they're fishing, they're at the pier, they're fishing, they're on the jetty, they're fishing. We love to fish up here on the Intercoastal, on the St. Johns River, on Lake George, which is the St. Johns River, but it's the Lake George before it drains down south. Not here for a geography lesson, but anyways, yeah, we love to be on the water. The springs that we have, like Ginny Springs, Silver Springs, like that, those are more towards the central portion of the state. But though, like, we love to be on the water, and any chance we get to be on the water, we're gonna be on the water. Like today, it's 72. I guarantee you there are people riding up and down the Intercoastal right now on their boats, just having a great time, making me jealous because I wish I was on a boat right now. But it is what it is. I work, and I will one day do that. But for not right now. I need to pay for Ironmans and stuff like that, and that stuff's not cheap. So the date I own a boat has gotten pushed back. But anyways, I will own a boat one day so I can be on the water as much as I can, because being on the water is the best thing about being in Florida. There's fishing, you got the John boats, you got 22, 25-foot center console boats, nothing big, no yachts, nothing gnarly like that, nothing like crazy and extreme like that. But overall, like, we got drive on beaches, A Street, Volano. You can go down here, like, drive on the beach, hang out all day, go hit Saint Augustine at the end for dinner. It's amazing. But yeah, but anyways, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, and if you're from Florida, let me know which part of the state you think is the best and why. I would love to hear from you. Hope you guys have a great day. I hope you all take care. If you guys did like this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video, y'all.